Hello, dear students. My name is Lankeshwar Paningahi. So today we are going to start a new topic about the process concept. So in this topic we are going to discuss about what is a process, what is the process management system, what are the different states of a process. So these all parts we are going to cover in today's session. So first we have to know that what is a process. So process is program that is in execution. That means whenever a user inserts some data or some programs inside the computer system, they are inserted to execute and give some result to the user. So after loading the programs in the CPU, they are going to execute, the CPU is going to execute one by one, and in the mean of execution the programs are executed. That's why the programs are called as the processes. So the processes are executed by the processor. So next is, process is the execution of a program that performs the actions specified in that program. A program does nothing unless its instructions are executed by a CPU. A program in execution is called a process. In order to accomplish its task, processes needs the computer resources. That means here the point is that in order to accomplish its task, process needs the computer resources. That means whenever we are going to add one program for execution or give one program for execution to the processor or the CPU, at the time of execution it needs some resources. That means it needs some peripherals or supports. By that support the CPU will execute that program or that process. The resources are the CPU or the processor, the RAM, the primary memory, the keyboard, the mouse, and the monitor. These are the resources of a computer system that are needed for execution of a process. Okay. So next point is, there may exist more than one process in the system which may require the same resource at the same time. That means in our first topics around we are covered about the multi-programming system where the processor is one and the processes are many, and the many of processes are executed by a single processor. That is called as the multi-programming system. That means more than one program is executed by a single processor. So in that case, if we observe that the number of the processes will share the computer resources at the same time. So that's why the operating system is there to manage the resources among all the processes. Okay, that means it gives the resources to that process which is going to execute. At the meantime, it will give the resources to that process which is to be executed. Okay. So here it is given that therefore the operating system has to manage all the processes and the resources in a convenient and efficient way. Okay. So a process created by the main process is called a child process, or we can call it as sub-process also. Okay. So process operations can be easily controlled with the help of PCB, that is process control block, where the processes are arranged after inserted by the user before they are executed. We store the processes inside the computer system by the process control block. You can consider it as the brain of the process because we store the number of processes inside the process control block, which contains all the crucial information related to processing like process ID, priority, state, CPU registers, etc. So these are the resources that is handled by a process which is stored inside the process control block, that are process ID, priority, state, CPU register, etc. So next is the operating system is responsible for the following activities in connection with process management. That means when processes are going to execute, they are having more than one function within it. To control the processes, the operating system inside the computer system is responsible to control the process management. Okay. So these are the some functions or managements are there. Number one is scheduling processes and threads on the CPU. That means when the processes are entered or the programs are entered into the CPU for execution, one schedule is prepared by means of which the processes are given to the CPU for their execution. So before start their execution, first the operating system prepares the schedule, that is called the scheduling of processes. So next one is creating and deleting both user and system processes. That means what the old processes are there inside the CPU. So before going to start a new process for execute, first the operating system will delete all the user and system processes from the processor. Next is suspending and resuming processes. That means whatever the process is completed, their execution, they are suspended from the CPU, and when one process is not covered or completed their execution, then it will resume for some time also. So providing mechanisms for process synchronization. That means execution process is more reliable, that is called as the providing mechanisms for process synchronization. So providing mechanisms for process communications. That means whenever more than one processes are executed at the time inside a computer system, then the process to process communication is going on, and that is managed by also the operating system inside the computer system or CPU. So next topic is what is process management. So process management involves various tasks like creation, scheduling, termination of processes, and deadlock. That means creation means here first when the process is created by the user, that is called the creation. Scheduling means before going to start execute, the operating system first prepares a schedule. The step is known as the scheduling. Termination means after completion of the process execution, it will terminate from the CPU and gives back to the output devices for printing the result. Okay. And deadlock means if a process in the time of execution, if it needs some resources and the resource is not available at the meantime, it is used by the other process, then the process is waiting until the resource is available from the other process to the execution process, and that waiting state is called as a deadlock state, which is we are going to cover in our coming topics, okay, about the deadlock. Okay. So next is process is a program that is under execution, which is an important part of modern day operating system. Next is the operating system must allocate resources that enable processes to share and exchange information. Next is it is the job of operating system to manage all the running processes of the system. That means it executes or controls all the running processes of the system inside the CPU. The operating system will manage all the processes, all the execution process. Next is it handles operations by performing tasks like process scheduling and such as resource allocation. That means to handle the operations of a process, it prepares before start the execution, that is called as the process scheduling. And different types of scheduling algorithms are there. That is also we are going to discuss in our coming topics, by means of which the operating system gives the processes to the computer system for execution, or it shares the resources or gives the resources to the processes as per the algorithm or the scheduling algorithm. Okay. The next is the process architecture. So the process architecture involves the following information. First one is stack. So the stack stores temporary data like function parameters, returns addresses, and local variables. Okay. Next one is heap. That is, it allocates memory which may be processed during its runtime. That means in the runtime, in the mean of runtime, whatever the memory is required, that is given by the operating system, and that is known as the heap area. Okay. So data, it contains the variable. Okay. So the data contains the variables. Text means it includes the current activity which is represented by the value of the program counter. Okay. So next is the diagram of, or the diagrammatic representation of the process architecture. So what are the steps are there? Stack. What are the criteria are there? Stack, heap, data, and text. Okay. So the stack stores the temporary data. The heap will allocate the memory at the time of execution. Data, it contains the variable. Text will includes the current activity which is represented by the value of the program counter. Okay. That means it also having the includes the current activities of a process. Okay. So these are the different steps or parts of the process. Okay. So next is different process states. As we are discussed about the different process states in our time sharing operating system, multi-programming operating system, we have covered about the different states of a process. So again, in this topic also we are going to discuss about the different process states. Processes in the operating system can be in any of the following states. So what are the states of that? New state, ready state, running state, waiting state, and terminated state. So first we have to go new state. The process is being created. That means in that time in which the process is created by the user, that state is called as the new state or born state. We can also call it as born state also. Ready state. The process is waiting to be assigned to a process. That means before going to execution, first the processes are arranged in a queue, and from that queue the process will select, or the operating system will select one by one and gives the processes to the processor for execution, and that queue is called as the ready queue. So next is running queue or running state. Instructions are being executed. That means whatever the processes are going to execute inside the processor, at the meantime the process which is executed by the processor is called as the running state of the process. Waiting state. The process is waiting for some event to occur. That means some IO operations, that means input and output operations. After completion of the process, it is waiting for the input and output operations. That state is called as the waiting state. Terminated state means the process has finished. Whenever the execution is finished, then the process is treated as a terminated state. That means the process is all terminated from the CPU or the processor after finished its execution. Okay. So this is all about the process concept, and it is a introduction to the processes. So in this topic we have covered about what is a process and what is process management system and the process architecture, as well as different process states. I hope you understand this video. If you have any doubts, then ask me. Okay. Thank you.